வணக்கம் ரவி. இன்றைக்கு 17th April 2022. இன்றைக்கு ஸ்ரீலங்கா இன் கிரைசிஸ் பற்றி பேசிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். ஏற்கனவே நாங்கள் ஒரு வீடியோ ஒன்று செய்திருக்கிறோம். அது ப்ரொட்டஸ்ட் அண்ட் ப்ராஸ்பெக்ட்ஸ் பற்றி. இப்போ நாங்கள் இந்த தலையங்கத்தில் கதைக்க இருக்கிற விஷயம் ஸ்ரீலங்கா a failed state பற்றிய விஷயம். இந்த விஷயம் பற்றி ரவியில கதைக்க இருக்கிறாங்க. என்னன்னு சொன்னால், இலங்கை 51 பில்லியன் பணத்தை எங்க போனது எங்க போட்டது என்று தெரியாம, அல்லது எங்க அழிஞ்சு போனது என்று தெரியாம, அங்க இருக்கிற எக்கனாமிஸ்டும் பெரிய மார்க்சிஸ்டுகளும் பெரிய பிலோசபர்களும் இலங்கை அரசாங்கத்தை எந்த விதமான ஆலோசனையும் கொடுக்காம, அல்லது பேசாம, அல்லது அவர்களுக்கு புத்திமதிகள் சொல்லாம, அல்லது அதை கேட்காம, இலங்கை அரசு அதை கேட்க விருப்பம் இல்லாம இருந்து போட்டு இன்றைக்கு மக்களை பராமரிக்க முடியாத அரசாக இருக்குது. இந்த இப்ப இஸ் இன் a situation is called failed state. ரவி, இதை பற்றி சொல்லுங்க.
நல்ல விஷயம். இப்ப நாங்கள் இப்ப 2 விஷயம் இதுல நீங்க எடுத்துட்டு ஒன்று வந்து ஸ்ரீலங்கன் எக்கனாமி. நான் எடுத்த மெயின் தலைப்பு வந்து நீ சொன்ன தலைப்பு வந்து ஸ்ரீலங்கன் sovereignty in crisis. இதுல நாங்கள் வந்து இதுல failed state என்றதுதான் நான் கதைக்கும்.
Okay.
So what is a sovereignty is the first question. When you say failed state, we have to define what is a state and what is a sovereignty. First of all, the sovereignty means is a socio-political will of a collection of people over their securities that guarantees their lives and their future successful existence.
Yeah.
But what is the securities? What are the securities? We have to define them. There are 3 types of things. One is the physical one. Second one is the economical one. And the third one is the environmental one, which I'm including it. I mean, I'm trying to give a modernized version of a sovereignty. Because until now, people think, just like minorities can be brought into the majority view, we think environmental issue can be brought into economic issue or a physical issue or that issue, this issue. Now, physical, what do we mean by physical? The safety of people means their guarantee of their lives as well as guarantee of their body. Now, Sri Lanka is a failed state. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have to even describe it beyond Mulyavaka. For me, once a genocide is committed, when the executive, that means a state, we use the word executive to explain what we mean by a state. We'll come to the definition later.
No.
When a state decides that they should end the rebellion of a community by simply committing genocide, even if they have to, doesn't mean they set about doing a genocide, doesn't mean they went around saying, oh, we're going to kill all the Tamils, but they decided they will do it anyhow.
Yes.
If an executive can decide that, that means it's a failed state. In other words, they can't guarantee the safety and security of the physical safety and security of the people. Now we are talking about medical facilities. They're all included in it. But I'm not talking about that one at all. I don't care about it. For me, from that onwards, is just final proof for me. That's it. Now, a lot of people who are looking around for, further proof, the hangers on, who are just living off, thinking they can milk a dead cow. They think, oh, we need more proof. So now we have a second proof, which is the economical failure. It's a complete bankruptcy declared, not by me, by the government itself, by defaulting its own payment. It's like, it's like us here. We are saying, some of us, we say, okay, Trump, for example, declares bankruptcy. That means everybody else pay for his money, for the money he spent.
Yeah.
That's a bank. They will take 1 penny of you and me and everywhere. They will take it and pay it back. So the guy is living off us, right? So similarly, Sri Lanka now, having spent all this money, how they spend it, where they borrowed it, did they pocket the money? I don't care. What the executive have done, they don't know even how to account for it. Now they have 1 billion pounds in reserve in their saving, but they have to pay 8 billion pounds, 7 billion pounds. So how can they find 7 billion pounds when they only have 1 billion pounds to go and mortgage your place? So the only thing they can do is mortgage more of your country. What they have done, they remortgage it. So they remortgage Colombo Harbour. some part of Mannar, some part of Trinco, some part of that, some part of middle ground, also Australia. So, and so complete Ampara area for the bloody foreigners for tourism.
Yes.
So you can only mortgage it. So that's what I mean by real estate. So we are now, the second proof, if anybody wanted it, I don't understand why you need a second proof. A country that commits genocide, people who commit genocide cannot look after its people, full stop. Now, do we need genocide more? Yes, we have another genocide. In the two uprising in JVP, what Sri Lanka committed is also genocide. People are now using this word very loosely, genocide, for anything. Our 45,000 or 50,000 or 4,000, we don't know how many people died. But those people dying is not genocide, but 2,000 people, 100 people in Ukraine dying is genocide.
Yeah, that's correct.
You can bomb Syria into submission by making into a sand dune by the Russians. That is not committing genocide, but few people in Ukraine is genocide. Fortunately, it's not just me saying it, and our UNHCR chairman has said it. World is racist, that they only look at genocide in one sense. But in a Sinhalese people, they committed genocide. Why? If you think about it, Tamils as well as the Sinhalese who died in these wars are all rural people. People from the provinces, not from the Kandy state, not from the Colombo state. These are people from Panadura and to Mullathievu or Mataklapu, or people who are poor, who are basically from peasant stock, Kudiyanawar society. They are the ones who rose against the state because the executive wasn't working for them. So they are uprising. Misadventure, yes. Wrong way, yes. Wrong path, yes. Wrong method, yes. But they, in order to put them down, they committed genocide. That means killed people in order to finish the struggle. Now, that is an unbelievable thing. They didn't fight the combatants. That is one thing. We are talking about depleting the base in order to finish the combatants off.
So that is a
different layer. So Sri Lanka is a failed state on the first count anyway.
That's the
now
first,
the second count is
not
also
only
done.
genocide, they are failed state, and they damage the people who are uprising themselves. They standing for them.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So a state that kills its own people in order to survive is a failed state. It can't be anything more. But now we have a second proof. They can't even manage their own economy. I'm talking about the ruling classes. It doesn't matter which family. They've been ruling it all the time. UMP, SLP, all these groups. I don't care. These are the classes which we call the state is the executive, and personnel who runs it, we don't care. But the people who come to power are always from the similar classes. They come there and they run the state down, the executive down. So it's a failure of the state. The third proof, if you want, now the environmental damage.
Yeah.
Now the environmental damage is unbelievable. Now we need our elephants can't move anywhere. They are stuck in their own little patches. They have to have signal light to cross the bloody roads they have built all over the world.
Yeah.
Now we have a country which is apparently rural, apparently Buddhist, apparently agricultural, its earning is largely agricultural based, but its elephants can't live. They are living in they have to come to damage our crops in order to survive, or break some storage somewhere in the villages in order to eat some rice. So we are in a situation, we can't even breathe proper air. So this is a third proof. But you see, the economical damage, the failure of the executive would have been proven a long time ago. Why? We'll come to talk about that in the economy. Anyway, now what do we mean by the people? So we keep saying state failure of the state, but it's a failure of the people, because it's like a kusa and its cap. They are same, one are the same. They keep electing the same kind of people all the time in order, hoping that they can actually milk a dead cow. They've been living off this borrowed money themselves. Where do they think the money is coming from?
Yeah.
They are not putting anything in the kitty.
Yeah.
So you don't put money in the bank, you don't put money in the box. How do you expect you to take it out? I don't get it. So borrowed money has been our, motto of lifestyle. We've been living off borrowed money. We blame the Tamils for the economic crisis. We blame the Muslims for the economic crisis. It's all finished now. We can't blame anybody else but themselves. So they declared themselves bankrupt. They are saying to us, we are stupid. So this Sri Lanka is the only country I know recently which declared itself stupid as a people and as a state. So the Sri Lanka is the only country we can turn a victory into a failure. They won a war, apparently. But that's the point. The point is you can't commit a genocide and win a war. That is the failure. That's why you show a failure. The Tigers are an organization which didn't know they won. They turned the victory into a failure. So now we are seeing two people committing the same thing. What it means is they don't know what they're asking for. They're living off something else. They're asking for something they can't chew. They don't know what they want. Their people want. They always ask me something more, what they can afford. Now they can't afford to even have what they have, because somebody else is going to take it. This is where we are in. So the executive means a serious problem. So now why do we have this problem then? That my view is a construct and structure of the country, administrative structure. That's the first issue. Second is the socio-economical development. You compare it to Tamil Nadu and see social awareness of itself, as a society and our place in the world. We don't think where we are. We think all the time we are a very successful people. You ask a Tamils or a Sinhalese, they will tell you how bloody great they are. But their countries are always in shit.
Because of
this is the
executives.
thing about, sorry?
Because of executives.
Yeah, this is an executive, but the executive is also are indicative of what we are. Now, what we are is what we reflect. So, we can't expect ourselves to be better than what we are. So that's a problem. So we have to ask ourselves then, in our internal context, what is it then? See, we inherited a country which is not our own country. They were proto-colonial states. They didn't exist before. We didn't have, so we really relied on colonial to come and cultivate us. We didn't have a state at that time. We didn't have institution which spoke for the people. We didn't have an education system. We didn't have a bureaucratic system. We didn't have any system other than simple feudal systems, which is loyal to the local feudal lords. That's all what the British found when they arrived. And even the religious texts we are referring to, whether it's Upanishad or even Buddhist texts, are actually discovered by the foreigners. And they made it into the modern religious text, what we talk about now. They polished it up. They learned the Sanskrit. They learned Pali. They learned Sinhala. The Sinhala Theravada Buddhism was one of the English guy who went there. He was a guru.
So you say we haven't inventors, or we haven't...
Yes, we've lost our sight. We lost sight of ourselves. So we never developed for ourselves. We develop for other people's expectation. So sometimes we do to our children. We say, oh, look at the other boy there. He's getting A star. Why can't you get it? That's the kind of attitude we have towards ourselves. We don't think this is our level of understanding at the moment. This is our expectation should be. We will grow into this and then we'll grow bigger. We didn't think like that.
So our leadership, our leaders, they always used us as a for create the people or education or the development of the economy, so-called everything for somebody's expectation. That's what we gone into this. So somebody earning, why come to Sri Lanka, and somebody earning and taking out their country. That's it.
Absolutely. This is what it is. Our education system was a launching pad for sending people like a rocket to all corners of the world. When I went to Brunei, Nigeria, all over the place. Once we finished, we can't do that anymore. We started our struggle in Jaffna. Right? And the other situation, the same single is they produce graduates for the sake of it, and then they realize there's no job in it. They started JVP. So you see, we are always doing things not for our purpose, not to fit our shoes. We are always wearing bigger shoes to show that we are bigger, taller people. We are not. But if you compare it to Tamil Nadu, India, for example, I'm not talking about India as a whole country. I'm talking about southern belts and the Deccan belt below and Maharashtra. They are growing according to their own needs and their abilities. And their ability grows, their needs grows. Their need grows, like Avver said, is something for your own purpose, for your own needs, for your own abilities, for your own sake, not for somebody else pat on the back. Oh, you are great. You can study. Oh, you are great. Yes, we can produce great people who can become an executive somewhere else. We are very proud. Oh, Tamil people are executive for IBM. But did he start IBM? No. Has any industries in India or Sri Lanka becomes a world beater? No. But we become executive for the world beaters. That is a different thing. So we can always find somebody in a society who is exceptional. That doesn't mean it's typical. So our typicals are low quality. That's what we found out. That is what the failure of the state.
நீங்கள் சொல்ற இந்த failure of the state ஓட நாங்கள் இப்ப இந்த மலையக பிரச்சனையை இணைக்க முடியுமா? ஏன்னு சொன்னால்
Absolutely. This is exactly the problem.
Okay.
Malaya problem is
இந்த நாட்டுக்கு எக்கனாமியை டெவலப் பண்ணி கொடுத்த மக்களை இன்னும் நிலத்துக்கு கீழே தான் இருக்க வச்சிருக்குது. அது இன்னும் அவர்களுடைய லைன்கள் மாற்றப்படவில்லை. இந்த அரசு செய்த படுமோசமான விஷயங்கள்ல அதுவும் ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லையா?
I wanted to talk about this in a separately economically. Okay. Yes, now when it comes to people's side of things, the failed state means first what do they do? In order to handle that issue, they made them stateless.
Yes.
Even though they are the main breadwinners for Sri Lanka. Right? And this is the funny thing. They are the income owners.
Yes.
We are living off them, but we make them stateless.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. All right. It's only a country like Sri Lanka.
Only in Sri Lanka we heard this.
Only failed people will do this. Only failed people, bankrupt people, people who can't think, people who are callous, people who are cruel, people who are so nasty. They are the people who can do this. Because nasty people, cruel people have no much imagination. Their imagination is only up to their nose. They become very proud about themselves. And that's where their thinking stops. And they become angry after that. Because their brain is not functioning. It can't function. It has no imagination. So what do? They will be cruel to the people who are below them.
Okay, so can I ask one more thing, Ravi? One more thing. They send people to Middle East and some other countries for labors and so many
This is what we will, yes.
That one you have to talk about, because that is a similar way the failed state did, isn't it?
This is what the failed state does. So first thing they do, make the stateless people, a slave people, into a stateless people. Then they made their own people, the state people, into slaves somewhere else in the Middle East, where they go work there as slaves in some Arab houses. Some of them get raped, some of them get killed, and come back with a little money. Now we are going to have a football bloody festival in Qatar, where thousands of people have died falling from the bamboo sticks, which they call it scaffolding. Right? All these things, we did it as a state. Why? We don't have enough money to subsidize our economy. We want to borrow more money, so we send more people as slaves. This is what we did. So we'll come to the economy side later, because these are all part and parcel of these things. I didn't want to extend too much into one section like this. So sovereignty in crisis means all three things. One is physical safety. Once it's gone, you're not a state. Second thing, economical safety. Once that is the last of the proof. But the environmental safety, which people are not ignoring at the moment, but that's the most important thing. It's like saying, sir, we don't have oxygen, but give us something more to eat. It's crazy. You can't breathe in, mate. So the problem is, if we don't look after our own environment, we won't have anything to do there. We won't live. We'll be ill. But we are already suffering personally. So these are issues we need to talk about it as an economical situation. We need to do.
Let's talk about the next one, Ravi. I think Ravi is wonderful. He's working in talking to in Tamil and English mixed together. I think this is at least this video the Sinhalese people can listen as well.
I hope so. But you know, we
Yeah,
are
they
on.
must know us, what we are saying, what we are thinking, what we are dealing with them.
Yes, I hope so, because they have to open their eyes, because they are at the moment holding the key.
Yeah,
That's the thing. They are always kept the box, you know, they are holding the key, but the box is not with them. That's the problem. The more and more, the box is being removed away and is somewhere else. So they may have the key, but they can't open it. Bloody box is going to be in India or some monetary fund. Okay.
Okay, I think Ravi is good one now. We'll stop this one with
Thank
it.
you.
And we're
Thank
going
you.
to start next one in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.